I got an email from somebody from Iran, believe it or not, a non-Jew in Iran, and they said where I am, I don't have any Wi-Fi. It's very hard for me to get on to listen to your classes, so I have to sneak out of my house to go to like an internet cafe. I don't know how this is working exactly. I don't know if it's monitored or surveillance or what, however it is. I have to sneak out to internet cafe and connect to their Wi-Fi to be able to listen to your class, and I could only do this Thursday morning. So please do me a favor and upload it as soon as possible. I realize there's some people that wait for the class and they're putting themselves in danger just to listen to the class.
My guest today is a rabbi from New York who is teaching Torah, the Bible, in Arabic, and somehow his teachings are now being watched across the Arab world, even inside mosques. Not through debate, not through politics, but simply by teaching Torah in their language. And what's happening next is something no one expected. Rabbi Uri Lati, thank you very much for being here.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Did you ever imagine that your Torah classes would be watched inside mosques?
Not by any thought of the idea. I was just trying to teach. I'm still trying to teach to my community and to obviously the Jews around the world. I never expected it to reach far and wide where it's reaching.
When was the exact moment you realized, wow, this is bigger than I thought it would be?
It was around 2009 when we started putting our classes on Facebook. 2009, 2010, that really didn't catch any wind until really the year before Corona. Like it took around 10 years. 2019, I received a message from a Sheikh in a mosque, and he's telling me that I'd like to use your classes in my sermon every Friday. Would you allow me to do it? I said, explain to me exactly how it is. He says, I have a big screen TV and I show your classes. And obviously you're speaking in Arabic, but you throw in some Hebrew words. And the Hebrew words that my audience doesn't understand, if I could translate it to them in Arabic. I said, sure, of course, but do me a favor, just don't veer off what I say. Just stick to the truth. Don't add your own reasoning and your own logic and your own understanding. If you want to use my classes, no problem, but just stick to the class. Don't overdo it and don't embellish. Just stick to it. And ever since then, he's been in touch with me and he sends me emails sometimes. What does this mean? And how do you correlate this to the Quran and to the New Testament? Yeah, we try to figure it out together. But ever since then, I realized that people around the world are watching.
So when you heard that a sheikh in Egypt was teaching your Torah, what went through your mind? How did that make you feel?
Originally, it made me feel proud because, listen, our Torah is truth, and truth spreads like wildfire. And people are hungry, people are thirsty, people want the truth. That's number one. Number two, it also taught me that I have to be very careful on what I say. You know, I have to leave all my politics and all my, I don't have hatred, heaven forbid, but I'll leave all my politics on the side and just stick to the text. So I'm very careful on what I say ever since then.
Now, how did you start with, giving classes in Arabic? Maybe give us a little bit about your background.
Sure. So I was born in Damascus, Syria. We left Damascus, Syria in 1984, 85. We came to America. I was brought up in obviously yeshivas, Jewish schools, not knowing a word of English, because as you can imagine, speaking Arabic only at home. And sure enough, I got acclimated and I got situated, and thank God it was very easy to make friends. And as I grew older, I had a passion for teaching, and I used to make these groups and teach them what I know and what I was transmitted to me from my rabbis. And one Shabbat, one Saturday, I was sitting down and learning my own thing, where my cousin comes over to me and he says, "What are you learning?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm learning my own, my own shtick, my own thing. Would you like to join?" He says, "Sure." He liked it. A few people also saw what we're learning, and sure enough, we started making a class in his house every Wednesday. And my father, alav shalom, he used to come and he used to bring his vegetable platters and his snacks and his cookies. And we maxed his house. We started with like 3, 4 people, and then we maxed his house to 50 people. Then we expanded into a synagogue. And ever since then, it started in Arabic. And then ever since then, I said, why not? Let's do a weekly class. So we started doing a weekly class on Monday and Wednesday and Shabbat, Saturday. And that was all the way until 2019. And then I said, why am I only giving classes in Arabic? Let me give classes in English. And my mother tongue is Arabic. I also know English, as you can hear. And we started making classes in English. And now I give classes in English and in Arabic, but for some reason the Arabic is more popular because I guess I have a niche and there's not too many rabbis out there speaking in Arabic.
I was
So
gonna ask,
that's it in a gist.
are there other rabbis in your area or that you know of that are giving classes in Arabic?
Not that I know of. I mean, you have these men that what they learn they give over, but not. I don't want to sound that I'm boasting right now or being arrogant, but not in the complex and intricate ways that we give our classes because I get all the sources and I do my research and I work extensively on the class to make it a 45 1 hour class. Everybody else that does know Arabic is giving it in 5 10 minutes. And funny enough, they take my material and then they pass it as their own. And the reason why I know that is because somebody that comes to my class on Wednesday night goes to a different synagogue on Shabbat and he said, this guy's using your material and not everybody knows. I said, I don't care. It's I don't get the royalties and no credits over here. I don't care. So
Mhm.
as I know, I'm the only one around that's giving it an error.
Now, do you know which countries people are listening to you from?
Yes, I have it because the demographics come on YouTube. The number one country that they're listening to from is Syria. I guess they relate because I'm from Syria, so I guess they relate to me. Syria, I have Egypt, I have Lebanon. It's funny, somebody just sent a message from Lebanon. Believe it or not, I have also in Morocco. I cannot understand for the life of me the Arabic, but they understand. See, my dialect, the Levantine Damascus dialect, is very easy, universally understood by all. So they're able to understand me. So they listen to me in Morocco. They listen to me in Tunisia. Tunisia, I have a very big following over there in Tunisia. Saudi Arabia, of course. And then you have in Israel all the Jews that speak Arabic that are in Israel listen in Israel, in Argentina, in Panama, in Brazil, all over every day there's a new country that pops up.
Now, what are they telling you about your classes? What they're doing for them? What do you see in the comments?
So 99% of the comments are all positive. Thank you for enlightening us, and now we see the truth. We see that the Jews are not the people that we grew up understanding or learning who the Jews were, and because my thing is I stay out of politics. Zero. I Anybody asks me any question about what's going on with Gaza and you stole the land of Israel, I stay very far away from it because what's the point of even talking about it? I'm here to spread love. I'm not here to spread no hatred and no politics and nothing else. So 99% of the comments are all positive. Thank you so much. We have a new understanding, a new take, shedding some light. You have the 0.00001% that is saying you stole our land, give it back to us, you're murdering our children. Where sometimes I ignore it and I laugh because I know it's all nonsense. But yes, 99% of the time it's all positive, and they appreciate I'm speaking in their language. For some reason, even when I give my classes over here in New York, obviously the people that are coming to my Arabic classes understand English, but for some reason it flows better, it sounds better in Arabic. The mother tongue that you the first language that you know, everything sounds better in that language. So they appreciate it that I'm speaking in Arabic.
Yeah, it seems like when you speak in their own language, it kind of breaks barriers. Are these people watching you openly or secretly? You think that there are some places where they would get in trouble for listening to you?
It's funny you asked that because I did get an email. See, I give my weekly class on Wednesday night. And I used to procrastinate and say, okay, I'll upload it Thursday morning. I'll upload it Thursday afternoon, Thursday night. What's the big deal? So they get it late. So, until I got an email from somebody from Iran, believe it or not, a non-Jew in Iran. And they said, where I am, I don't have any Wi-Fi. It's very hard for me to get on to listen to your classes. So I have to sneak out of my house to go to like an internet cafe. I don't know how this is working exactly. I don't know if it's monitored or surveillance or however it is. I have to go to sneak out to internet cafe and connect to their Wi-Fi to be able to listen to your class. And I could only do this Thursday morning. So which means us Wednesday night over here is Thursday morning by them or early morning. So please do me a favor and upload it as soon as possible. So now I try I'm exhausted because I give it back to back. I give from 8 to 9 in English, 9 to 10 in Arabic. And afterwards I eat something and then I have come home and I want to sleep. I can't do that. I'm exhausted, but I realize there's some people that wait for the class and they're putting themselves in danger just to listen to the class. I mean, these are people that don't have to listen to Torah in Arabic, yet they choose to. And I guess I have to repay them the favor back in uploading it as soon as possible. So yes, there are some people that put themselves in danger.
Now, while you're giving the class or preparing the class, do you have these people in mind, or are you just focused on, the Jewish crowd in front of you?
It's funny you asked that because you see, I speak Arabic. Of course, I could refine my Arabic and use lavish and extravagant words in the Arabic vernacular that they're used to. And I say to myself all the time, maybe I should brush up on my Arabic to make it easier for them and to stop using the Hebrew words and just focus on the Arabic. Then I say to myself, but I'm not focusing on them. I'm focusing on my community. Now, I have nothing against anybody listening to my Torah in Arabic. Everybody's welcome to listen. A person that believes in God or not, a Christian, an Arab, it really doesn't matter to me as long as they're listening. And I say all the time, I say to myself all the time, should I stop using Hebrew words and just focus on Arabic? And then I realized that I have a Jewish audience. That's my priority. My priority is a Jewish audience. So I just stick to the way it is.
Have there been rabbis or people in your community that push back? Oh, you shouldn't be teaching non-Jews, this and that.
In my community, no. I do get comments of people outside of America telling me that I can't teach non-Jews Torah. But I did get the okay from Rabbi Mazuz, alav shalom. Rabbi Mazuz was a great rabbi in Eretz Israel that passed away actually around, I think it's a year exactly, or probably a little over a year, where I have a voice note of him saying, just continue doing what you're doing. You're teaching Jews Torah, and whoever wants to listen, it's out it's public right now. It's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, it's on social media, it's on Facebook. Whoever wants to listen can listen. I'm not directing my Torah to non-Jews. I'm directing it to Jews. And if anyone wants to listen, can listen. So he told me, just don't worry. Just get rid of all the negative comments in your life. Just don't even answer them and just continue doing what you're doing.
We're living in a
But
day and age.
one thing I will tell you is that I have a lot of non-Jewish people asking me to convert them. And they ask me, can you teach us about keeping the Sabbath, keeping Shabbat? Where we know that only Jewish people are able to keep Shabbat. If you're not Jewish, you cannot keep Shabbat. So in as much as it hurts me to tell them you can't, because I see the thirst that they want to learn, I tell them, I'm sorry, I can't help you in that aspect. I don't do conversions, and I can't help you to keep Torah, keep Shabbat. I have a person I'm working with him. He's in Egypt under an anonymous name, and he tells me all the time, please, I wanna keep Shabbat. I tell him, I'm sorry, I would love to help you. I don't do that. I can't help you. You can't keep Shabbat.
Now, when you tell them you can't keep Shabbat, do they push back? Do they say, what should I be doing? I feel like my soul is Jewish, or I'm sure they have their own things that they say to you.
Yes, of course, of course. So I tell them, so the ones that I see that are genuine and really want to keep it, I tell them, okay, you can keep it, but just do me a favor, just light a cigarette or put the TV on or write. Just something that it's not a Shabbat 100%. You can't keep Shabbat 100%. Just do something, a little act that shows that you're not keeping Shabbat 100%. Because I see that they're genuine, and again, I don't want to put them in danger, because it's the dangerous to them, not to me. I don't want to put them in danger, in harm's way of them keeping Shabbat. So I tell them, just change something around.
Now, in these Arabic countries, a lot of them are brought up with a kind of a hatred of Judaism, of Israel. Um, what do you know about how these Muslims are brought up thinking about Jews? And what happens when they hear your Torah classes? And what does that do to them?
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of them have been taught wrong, either in the places that they pray, either in the streets, either in their communities. They've been taught wrong, and all of a sudden, when they, you know, now I'm not proficient in the Quran or the New Testament. Let me be proficient in my testament first, and then I'll maybe consider learning theirs. So I'm not able to tell you what the Quran exactly says about hating Jews or not, or the land of Israel or not, but the comments that I get are telling me, we've been taught differently. So I guess the way that they've been taught is through the Quran, and we've been taught differently. We've been taught that Jews, all they still today, I get the comments as, you're going to slaughter some babies and use the blood in your matzah. I mean, where does that even say? I don't even think the Quran even says that. I don't know where they're getting that from. I guess the hatred just being spewed and spread throughout, you know, their culture, if I want to say something like that. And when they hear me talking about, it's not true. We're not allowed to eat. What are you talking about? We're not allowed to drink blood. We're not allowed to kill. It's one of the 10 commandments. And you also have the commandment, thou shalt not kill. It's one of the 7 Noahide laws. And when they finally hear somebody saying the truth, opposite of what they've been taught their whole life, they're just shocked. And because of that, they want to convert. Because they're seeing how much lies they've been fed their whole life. And finally, somebody to say the truth in their language, nonetheless, it just brings them closer to Hashem, brings them closer to religion, to Judaism.
What is some of the memorable feedback that you've received? I'm sure they email you or somehow they get in touch with you, but what are some of the things that kind of stick out in your mind about the feedback from the Arab Muslim world?
I'll tell you, I get so many emails and so many comments where I don't even have time to do it. I try to set a day during the week or one day during the month to answer all these emails and all these comments. And a lot of them are, like I said, are very positive. The memorable ones I think come out as the guy wanted to change his name from his Arab name to my name. He wanted to call himself Uri. He tells me, I'm changing my name because you changed my life. So the least I could do is change my name to your name, which that I found fascinating. Others tell me that they started lighting candles for Hanukkah. You know, I said, but do you even know what Hanukkah is about? We don't need to know. We don't need to know. You're spreading light, and we want to spread light also. We want to repay you. I said, you're not really repaying me, but okay, it's a nice gesture. We want to light some candles. There's so many. Some want to keep kosher. I have a guy that I'm working with that he's in a place where it's impossible to get any kosher, and he secretly gets in touch with the Chabad person to fly him in or to ship him in at a disclosed location where he goes and he meets him once a week and he gets kosher food because he doesn't want to eat not kosher food anymore. And these emails, I mean, they're very touching. They're touching not because of me. I'm not doing anything. I'm just reading and transmitting. I'm myself. I'm not doing anything. Just goes to show you that people want the emet, people want the truth, people are thirsty. There's so many comments and there's so many emails that really my inbox is flooded. If I could show you how many emails that I got in my inbox, I think right now it's up to like 3,000. This is after I checked a lot of them, and thank God, there's so many. I mean, I could forward you if anything comes to mind. I could forward you, but these are the ones that are standing out right now.
Do you think that there are people that listen to you that would never admit it publicly?
Sure, sure. I mean, they're scared for their life. A lot of them are scared for their life. They live in regimes where if you're caught listening to anything other than your own religion, it's very dangerous. Definitely, I definitely believe that there are a lot of people listening, and they're afraid to even, like, for example, I don't run my Instagram account. I have somebody running my Instagram account, and he sends me all the time, and he tells me, we got a message from somebody, and I mean, they have no picture, and they have no posts and no followers, and it might be like a spam. I said, okay, so what are they saying? Because thank you for changing my life and everything. I said, that's why they can't put their picture, they can't put their name because they're scared, but they want to show me a token of appreciation, so they send me a comment. So I definitely know that there's people that are listening and are afraid to say.
Do you ever think about how you're reaching places that, a Jew, a rabbi normally wouldn't be able to? I mean, in previous generations for sure, but the fact that they have the social media and the internet, you can now reach every corner of the world.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating. I mean, where the prophet says that we're supposed to be a light unto the nations, this is the way to be a light unto the nations with social media and to the advent of internet. Otherwise, how in the world would we be a light unto nations? I mean, think about it. 100 years ago, I wouldn't be able to do this. There's no internet. I'm only teaching the people in my community. How is my Torah being spread? Unless I write a book, obviously. Write a sefer. If I write a book, okay, it's being sold. It's being spread out to the other countries. But otherwise, how in the world would anybody even know about me? I mean, I'm fish in a huge sea of other fish that are trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to do the same thing. The only thing that makes me stand out is I do it in Arabic. But I'm a nobody. If I compare myself to other rabbis and other speakers, I can't even compare myself. They know much more than me, and they're more eloquent speakers and everything. So I'm just blessed, I guess, that I started teaching in Arabic. That's the only
Now
thing I
you
can
were
think of.
you were born in Syria. What does that mean to you to today, and how do you feel about what happened to the Jewish life over there?
It's funny you asked that because the other day, I think it was yesterday, I was asking I was asking people, why did you leave Syria? I mean, I know why we left Syria because my father needed medical treatment. But I asked them, why did you leave Syria? I mean, was it that bad? They said, in the beginning, it wasn't. Towards the end, yes, it was very bad. We weren't able to go down the streets. We needed documentation for everywhere we needed to go. I mean, we were treated lower than the lowest. I'm not, and this is not only the Jews. I mean, there were other denominations of demographics of other religions that were probably treated the same. But they said towards the end, Syria was definitely not the Syria that they grew up in. My grandfather grew up in, where they were able to experience being able to walk in the street, maybe not with the yarmulke on, but there wasn't so much hatred because the hatreds come every time there's a war. There's hatred. I mean, you could have non-Jewish neighbors living with you in the same building and be very friendly with you, but all of a sudden there's a war and they turn their back. They don't know you anymore. What makes me proud to be Syrian, I'll tell you that. What makes me proud to be Syrian is, listen, we're in the Syrian community and we follow the Syrian customs, but not everybody is privileged. Yes, I use the word privilege. Not everybody is privileged to be born in Syria. To be born in Syria, to be able to speak. I'm here now in America. I'm here now for 41 years. To be able to speak the Arabic that I'm speaking, I'm surprised sometimes at myself. And this is only because I was born in Syria. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. We wouldn't be having this interview. I'm proud that I was born in Syria, and actually my followers, they tell me all the time. They use a term. They say Ibn Baladi. Ibn Baladi means the son of my city, son of my town. It would be very different if I teach Torah in Arabic, and I was born in New York or born outside of Syria than me actually being born in Syria and teaching Torah in Arabic. They just appreciate it so much. They really appreciate it so much. They tell me all the time, Ibn Baladi, Ibn Baladi. I mean, I don't even know who they are, but they tell me all the time. They're very proud. Listen, these are Gentiles, they're non-Jews. They are proud that there's somebody that came from their country that's able to spread light.
Wow. Do you feel a connection to the Arab world, or do you feel like separate from it?
I mean, there was a point where all I was listening to was Arabic music. I just love it. I don't think it has to do because I come from Syria. It's a very rich uh, genre of music, so I listen to it all the time. Obviously, the foods in our household, in the community, we eat the Syrian foods, the Arabic, the foods that we in the country that we were born in. I'm very connected to the Arab world now, especially more than before. Now I have to be. I actually have to be connected to the Arab world. I have to understand what's going on. Not really politics, but I have to understand what's going on in different countries. What they do in Yemen, what they do in Lebanon. It's different. It might look the same. It's definitely not the same. The clothing is different. The food is different. And in order for me to make an impact like I want to, I have to learn their culture and they appreciate it. They appreciate that there's a person that's outside their culture, trying to do his best and to understand the culture. I walk in all the time to grocery stores, to bodegas, which are owned by non-Jews, and if the guy's Yemeni, I try to throw in some Yemeni words. The guy's Iraqi, I try to throw in some Iraqi words. Also Egyptian and Lebanese, and they appreciate it. They appreciate it so much. So I definitely have to be connected to the Arab world.
You mentioned that, in the articles that I read, that you can't bring people closer with force, only with love. What does that mean in practice? Why do you think this approach works where others fail? Do you think confrontation pushes people further away?
100%. I mean, I've seen this. I've seen this fail in my community. When you try to bring a person, to stop doing what they're doing, and then you tell them, oh, you know what, there's purgatory and there's a devil and there's fire and all that. I mean, that's not doing anything. That's not doing anything. A person says, then let me live my life. Let me just do whatever the heck I want to do. Don't tell me about all this stuff. When you try telling him, there's a creator, there's a master that's watching you, that's going to reward you. He loves you. And look at all the things that he's been giving to you in your life. And you have to serve him and you have to love him as much as he loves you. And then maybe there's two kinds of teshubah, basically. Teshuvah means repentance, how to come closer to God. There's a way of ahaba, which is love, and yir'ah, which is fear. Now, to start, obviously, it makes a bigger impact when you scare a person. We all know that. When you want to shock a person, you have to scare him. But in the long run, it doesn't work. In the long run, he might get the inspiration for a day or two, but it's not going to do anything. But when you tell him that there's God and He loves you, and you have to, not fear Him out of punishment, but fear Him out of love, it makes a bigger impact. And that's when it comes to the Jewish people. When it comes to the non-Jewish people, I mean, I don't like to mention anything that has to do with, Satan and hell and fire and all this stuff. I try to stay far away from it, because I myself wouldn't want to. How do I explain this to you? I explain to myself, actually, in the simplest way possible. God is Hashem is benevolent. He's merciful. He's compassionate. He's good. I don't want to think of God as, He's always waiting for me to sin for Him to zap me. I don't want to live like that. I want to live with the mindset that there's a God, and He knows that I mess up because I have an evil inclination, but He gives me chances to keep on coming back to Him more and more and more. I would like to relate to God that way. I don't want to relate to God that God is waiting for me to smite me. Fear never works with anybody, not with Jews and not with Gentiles, ever.
Do you think that the Torah can actually change how the Arab world sees Jews? Like if the Knesset, if the Israeli government would speak more Torah, would speak more from what the Torah says, the Arabs would respect us more, they would understand us more. What do you think about that?
I think I live with this credo: live and let live. I think you should stick to your own religion. Every religion should stick to their own religion. Be proud of your religion. I mean, the land of Israel is founded on the Torah. Hashem promised it to us. If we keep the Torah, we have to abide by the Torah. The government of Israel definitely has to stick to the Torah, stick their ground, and not be ashamed of the Torah. The problem is happening right now is because you hear it. I don't have to tell you. The biggest issue right now is Zionism. Zionism. You stole our land. You stole our land. The funny part is that the Torah itself says that the land was promised to the Jewish people. And the other religions know this. I mean, whether it's Islam, whether it's Christianity, it clearly says it. In the Quran, it clearly says it in the New Testament. The land of Israel was promised to Abraham, Ishaq and Yaakov, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to the Jewish people. They know this. Everybody knows this. It's just that I believe this, that if the Jewish people do not learn their Torah, there was a rabbi, his name was Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin. Chaim of Volozhin says that if a Jew doesn't know how to make kiddush, the Gentile will teach him havdalah, which means if you don't know how to sanctify yourself and just stick to your own, the Gentile will come and remind you to stick to your own and to be very far away. Just stick to your own religion, and people will appreciate that. People will appreciate if you run your life through the lens of the Torah, like other religions are running their life through the lens of their religion and their scriptures and their texts. That's what I believe. I really believe, I'm a nobody, again, I really believe if the Knesset members started learning the Torah, quoting more of the Torah scriptures and verses in their meetings and in their conferences and everything. I went to a conference last May, it's almost a year, last May in Berlin, and we were there with sheikhs, with imams, and they really appreciated that I was quoting the Torah. They appreciated it because you have to be proud of your religion, be proud of your book. I know it's a very long-winded answer that I'm giving you right now, but yes, to answer your question, I really believe the Knesset members started implementing more and talking about the Torah more, things would change.
Did you see any difference in the engagement on your views on your channel after October 7th versus before?
Definitely. I mean, I could tell you alone, the Instagram account after October 7th went from like maybe 100 followers, like maybe not even overnight, a few hours, to like 30, like, no, now it's up to 31,000 almost. It went to like 18, 19,000. I think it's because people want to know. I mean, why did October 7th happen? What is it about the Jews? What is it about the Jews that there's so much hatred towards the Jews? What are the Jews teaching that because of that, there's so much hatred. And then they go on my channel, they see somebody like me speaking about everything except hatred. And they're intrigued. So then why did October 7th happen? What's going on? So I think the reason, and every single day, I think the reason why I'm getting more and more followers is because people want to know, what is it about the Jewish people that, that people hate them so much? And I'll tell you the truth, there's no answer. There's nothing. There's nothing. The only comments that I'm getting is, you're stealing our land. You're stealing our land. I actually got into an argument with somebody where he told me, yeah, you're stealing our land. So I commented him back. I said, that's the only thing you know how to talk about? I mean, change it up. I'm tired of this already. All you keep on saying is, you stole the land, you stole the land. So he comments back and he says, well, if they were killing your children, meaning from Gaza, if they were killing your children, then you would also be very defensive. I said, we know that already. You said that already. Change it up. Change your tune around. I mean, why can't you just accept the fact that I am the same as you? Leave politics on the side. Let's not talk about hatred. What is it about me that you hate? Forget about the land of Israel and forget about the term Zionism. Me and you. What is it about me that you hate? There's no answer. Because I am a regular person. I have no affiliation with Zionism or with anything. Can you listen to me if I'm talking all about love and peace? Can you listen to me or no? I'm not talking about hate. I'm not talking about the land of Israel. I don't talk about politics ever in any of my classes. Then why can't we see eye to eye? No answer. There's no answer. And October 7th just opened the eyes of the Arabs to ask, wow, what is it? What is it about the Jews? What is it about the Jews that they're hated so much?
If you could give a message to the people in the Arab world that watch you, what would it be?
My message would be that, first of all, I thank anyone that watches. There's so many other people that they could watch and listen to. And I really, they used to say all the time, and they still say it. I don't think they still say it, because last time I was on an airplane, they didn't say it. They say, we know you have so many choices, and thank you for flying JetBlue. Something like that, or whatever. Thank you for flying Delta. So I say all the time, I know you have a lot of speakers you can listen to. Thank you so much for listening to somebody small like me, and just keep on doing it, because eventually you'll see that Judaism is all. I'm not saying it because I'm a Jew, but really, Judaism is all about light. Judaism is all about peace. Judaism is all about serenity. That's what we want. I mean, at the end of days, when Mashiach comes, when the Messiah comes, it says everybody's going to dwell together. There's going to be peace and harmony. Isn't that what everybody wants in the end of the day? I mean, look what's going on in the world. Everybody is the whole world wants a piece of the land of Israel. Zionism, you stole our land. It's a small country that the whole world wants. Okay, let's leave that on the side. Don't you want for your children to be able to live in peace and in harmony? Yes or no? Of course you do. Then just stop whatever the heck you are doing with all the hatred, with all the wars, with all the politics, and let's just learn to live all together. Forget about it. We heard it a million times. You stole our land. You're butchering our children. You're using the blood in the matzahs. We know all that already. Let's put that all on the side and try to see eye to eye and reveal God's light, because we all worship God in the end of the day, in whatever understanding you want of God. At the end of the day, we all worship the same God. So don't you think God wants all his children, the whole world, to live in peace and in harmony? Of course you do. So let's just keep all our differences on the side and just focus on trying to see the good in one another, trying to bring more peace and more love and more harmony in the world. I think if everybody, stopped focusing on politics, because that's the in right now. Everybody's into politics. Just stop with the politics. Stop with the politics. Try to read the Torah and come back to me and show me where in the Torah it says that we're all about hatred. We're all about wars. Nothing. If you understand the Torah correctly, obviously. And I open, and this is in a public setting, I'm saying it. If anybody has any questions, you could always email me, info@rabbilati.com. I'll be, God willing, if I have time, I'll answer your questions. I want to dispel all the rumors and all the theories of all the hatred and everything, all the nonsense that's going on in the world. And just basically, let's see eye to eye. That's it. Let's see eye to eye.
Rabbi Uri Lati, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for your time, for your insights. I definitely gained a lot. I'm sure our viewers will as well. If they want to watch your lectures, please give us your channel name and what else can they find you.
Right. So currently, thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's a tremendous, as I say, zechut. It's a merit for me that you're interviewing somebody like me. They can find on YouTube, obviously, all the videos are on YouTube in Arabic and in English. And it's funny because a lot of people are learning Arabic through our videos. Why? Because the English and Arabic classes are exactly the same. So if you listen to the English, you can listen to the Arabic. And especially, I think YouTube has translations or subbing or closed captions so you can learn that way. On YouTube, it's Rabbi Uri Lati on YouTube. On Instagram, it's also Rabbi Uri Lati. And on Facebook, it's also Rabbi Uri Lati. So it's the same name across all channels to make it easier for everybody. And again, my email, if anybody wants to ask any questions, it's info@rabbilati.com, RABBILATI.com. We welcome any positive. If it's negative, I delete it right away. I don't even waste my time. Any positive emails, any positive comments, any positive questions, no problem whatsoever.
Thank you, Rabbi Uri Lati. I want to wish you all the best. You should have all the blessings and keep up the great work.
Amen. Thank you so much. Likewise.